Teachers are said to be unsung and under-celebrated heroes. They are professionals who nurture all professions and generations. In Nigeria, the popular saying, "Teachers' rewards are in heaven," sums up the teaching profession, which often stands at crossroads despite being the backbone of national development. Overcrowded classrooms, poor remuneration, delayed promotions, absence of professional dignity, among many others, are some of the challenges of teaching profession in the country. As the world celebrates this noble profession, the emphasis is on recasting teaching as a collaborative profession, as an imperative initiative that requires deliberate design, time, structure, incentives, and leadership support. Teachers must have space to co-plan lessons, reflect on outcomes, observe peers, and exchange strategies. It also acknowledges that no single teacher, however brilliant, can transform education in isolation. On Panorama today, we shall take a look at this initiative and how it can help the teaching profession and the future generations they nurture. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and our other social media handles displayed right on the screen. I am Hinginu John Adams. Thank you for joining us. Now, amid ongoing disease outbreaks ravaging across the country, the federal government has launched a comprehensive emergency preparedness and response plan aimed at strengthening Nigeria's capacity to manage current health crisis and prepare for future epidemics and pandemics. The initiative, led by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, is designed to equip all states, including the Federal Capital Territory, with the tools and frameworks needed to effectively respond to public health emergencies and disasters. Oluseyi Adeagbo reports.
Since the outbreak of the COVID-19, Nigeria, like many other countries, has continued to adopt various strategies to improve its preparedness, control, and prevention measures against future pandemics. The West African nation has also been grappling with recurring disease outbreaks, and every state of the Federation experiencing its share of public health challenges. At this socialization and unveiling of the state's Emergency Preparedness and Response EPR plan, developed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, in collaboration with partners, leaders of health systems across the country, particularly state commissioners for health, received strategic documents to guide decision-making and action.
Talk to the states. We have a framework that we developed by NCDC with a level of experience in the past. But now it's a framework, but we are presenting to the states. Then I look at the framework, consider them in the context of their own peculiarities in the state, what resources they have. So it can't be a one-size-fits-all. And that's the essence of this program.
What we are doing here today allows us to further deepen that knowledge, so that we don't have to wait till when there is an outbreak, but that we have the systems in place to be able to first pick it up, what we call early warning signals, to prevent it as well, and should there then be an outbreak, to be able to respond accordingly.
Participants were tasked with adapting the EPR plan, ensuring effective communication and fostering an environment that supports successful implementation. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Now turning to the National Assembly, with Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan attending plenary on first day of resumption, she joins her colleagues in the Red Chamber for the first time, having served 6 months of suspension. On commencement of House plenary, 3 new members were sworn in by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin. Red Chamber for the first time, having served 6 months of suspension. On commencement of House plenary, 3 new members were sworn in. Heightened vulnerability of fire disasters on Lagos Island. Fire safety officers emphasize constant awareness and accessibility of fire extinguishers as key management strategies. Lanre Belay spoke with fire safety officials on recurring fire incidents, highlighting the need for proactive measures.
Fire is nothing new to Lagos. Sadly, it has become a yearly occurrence. The recent one being the one that happened at Afriland Towers here in Broad Street. And traders around this area have an idea and highlighted the causes of these fire incidents.
There's no space in anywhere. Everything just choked together. When they went to allow SAR to go and pay that they want to develop anywhere in this community, they will pay for maybe 1-story building or 2-story building. They will turn it to 7 upstairs, 5 upstairs.
When the installation of electricity are not proper, that is one. 2, if they want to install wire, they will not cut it. That is 2. 3, like you will see some inflammable material like generator not being well fixed.
To curb the cases of incessant fire outbreaks, traders are complying with Lagos State government's directive to remove illegal extensions, narrowing alleys and obstructing spaces between buildings. The Fire Safety Department has confirmed extending awareness campaigns to densely populated areas prone to fire incidents and pushing for enhanced safety practices.
And don't forget, there is no fire that ever starts big. Every fire starts from an incipient stage. But lack of knowledge, what to do in case of fire, make a lot of people fall into that trap. Because some people doesn't know what to do in case of fire. Even some people, they have fire extinguisher, but they can't use it.
The Federal Fire Service say we are already in the ember months and the dry season is at the doorsteps. And this is the time to increase awareness on the dangers of fire, especially in densely populated areas. In Lagos, Lanre Belay, NTA News.
The House of Representatives is examining opportunities and challenges of digital payments with a view to safeguarding the financial system as well as guiding key players in developing a balanced framework for Nigeria's digital economy. This revelation came up during the inauguration of the ad hoc committee on the economic, regulatory and security implications of cryptocurrency and POS operations in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide reports.
Globally, financial systems are being reshaped by technology. In Nigeria, cryptocurrency and POS operations have grown rapidly, creating new opportunities for commerce, financial inclusion and innovation. However, alongside these opportunities lie serious risks such as cybercrime, fraud, money laundering, terrorism financing, and regulatory uncertainty.
We are not here to stifle innovations, but innovation without safeguards can destabilize economies, empower criminals, and erode public trust. Our task is to ensure that Nigeria harnesses with the benefits of digital finance while minimizing the risks. As a parliament, we need a legislation to guide the operations of these very important digital financial transactions.
This prompted the need for enforcement of a legislative framework as preventive and regulatory measures.
With this, it is expected that your terminal will be restricted with a 10-meter radius, and it cannot, within that range that is registered, it cannot operate.
It does not only help us to safeguard the space, to restore confidence in even other investors that might want to bring in their platform to come to operate officially in Nigeria.
The largest chunk of transactions globally goes through visual assets, and that is where people move money. It has become in vogue. One also wonders why Nigeria is just waking up, but however, they say no time is late.
The other committees are assuring Nigerians that it will work hand in hand with the Central Bank, the SEC, NDIC, NFIU, EFCC, ICPC, the Nigerian Police, and other key institutions to ensure that digital finance in the country is a force for growth, not a tool for subversion. In Abuja, Joshua Gujri, NTA News.
Turning our attention into education, teachers all over the world are seen as foundation builders of academic process in any child. It is a profession that contributes to the social and economic growth of any country in no small measure. This is why UNESCO in 1994 set aside a day to celebrate the contributions of teachers globally. Bolaji Akim takes a look at the day and what it means to the teaching profession.
It is common cliche to hear in some quarters that a teacher's reward is in heaven. This saying no doubt underscores the important role teachers play in the academic life of every profession, from elementary to higher education. UNESCO set up a day to celebrate the teachers for their efforts in molding lives and building nations. The 2025 edition is a significant one for Nigeria because it is a year a teacher in Nigeria was recognized by Guinness World Record for its ability to gather the largest number of teachers in one place for a common goal.
Congratulations, Sheikh.
With the team recasting teaching as a collaborative profession, the day, apart from promoting teachers, also seeks to bring to the fore various challenges facing the teaching profession in the country, while clamoring for collaborative efforts in turning the situation around.
Teaching doesn't stop in school alone. It's cut across board. Learning is a process. It's a lifelong activity. So yes, I feel if teachers can collaborate, every organization possible, it will really help us because we are raising lives here.
This is the time when teachers are expected to come together to work collaboratively to bring the teaching profession to the greatest height.
In advocating better recognition, Nigerian teachers also emphasized the need for development of proper curriculum.
All right, we apologize for the loss of audio there. That report will continue the news in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu says his administration established the 200 billion naira intervention fund to support the micro, small, medium enterprises and manufacturers to assist them in boosting competitiveness and addressing structural challenges. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, the president stated this when he declared open the 31st Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
This is the 31st National Economic Summit holding in Abuja with the theme, The Reform Imperative, Building a Prosperous and Inclusive Nigeria by 2030, leveraging technology to drive labor and to unlock full potentials of Nigerians.
As experts in the economy, you know more than the average citizen that the stability in our foreign exchange market is not accidental. It reflects deliberate choices guided by the same economic logic and wisdom that gatherings such as these embody. Along with subsidy removal, these decisions have rescued our public finances, stabilized the economy, and reassured investors at home and abroad. We owe this progress to the sacrifices of Nigerians, whose patience and understanding have been the bedrock of our endurance. To them, I say, the better days we promise are already within sight.
Nigeria's economic reforms are already visible, and Vice President Kashim Shettima said the summit is another platform to expedite action in driving the government's desire in actualizing transformative results.
There is obviously the need for us to also then add local production or significant growth in local production. But the other things that government need to look at, and they're looking at them now, which is good, are levies and the way customs operate.
Areas of trade facilitation through the traditional routes on land and sea. We've worked significantly on a national single window that will be coming live in Q1. And what this means is taking from paper, from policy, into working with human beings to make sure that we give life to the AFCFTA.
Investments needed are massive, and to be able to achieve anything like the targets of a $1 trillion economy, really bold action will be needed here.
So it's very important, of course, to keep on insisting on reform that we've heard this morning on modernizing ports and internet connectivity, on establishing a single national window, modernizing custom, creating a digital one-stop shop.
And these stakeholders believe Nigeria's success depends on aligning key priorities by driving industrialization-led growth, building infrastructure for competitiveness, advancing inclusion for shared growth, strengthening institutions for sustainable impact, and unlocking investment amid global trade shifts. In Abuja, Rahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Now, the news will continue in a moment. There is a fresh wind of confidence blowing through Nigeria's economy, and the central bank says it's no coincidence. At its special day celebration during the 20th Abuja International Trade Fair, the Apex Bank announced that foreign reserves have surged beyond $42 billion, crediting ongoing monetary reforms for restoring stability and trust in the nation's financial system. Musa Abubakar reports.
More than just a special day, it was a showcase of transformation as the Central Bank of Nigeria took spotlight at the 20th Abuja International Trade Fair. Amidst the buzz of commerce and innovation, the Apex Bank used the moment to bridge policy with the people, bringing its reforms from the pages of reports to the reality of business owners and everyday Nigerians.
The management of the Central Bank of Nigeria, under the leadership of Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, is dedicated to addressing identified challenges of the Nigerian economy to boost productivity and strengthen the local economy against any adverse external shocks.
The Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry stands ready to partner with the bank in policy advocacy, financial literacy, and sectoral linkages.
Through initiatives like the Open Banking Framework, the rise of contactless payments, and deepening fintech innovation, the CBN is charting a future where finance is inclusive, efficient, and transparent. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And just before the loss of signal, we were having a report on the World Teachers' Day, and the coast is clear now. We now return to Lagos. Hingino, over to you.
Chikuka, and welcome back to Lagos. To discuss further on recasting teaching as a collaborative profession, I have with me Joy Ifeanyi, a certified teacher and wholesome education advocate. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Joy, can you tell us the meaning of this year's theme of Teachers' Day, recasting teaching as a collaborative profession?
All right. Thank you so much for having me, like I said before. So this year's theme is hinged on one of the 21st century skills, which is collaboration. And the theme is recasting teaching as a collaborative profession. It means that teaching is not a solo act. It's not something we do as individuals alone. To achieve the results that we want, we need to collaborate with others because it's a shared responsibility. We have to collaborate with parents. We have to collaborate with the communities. We have to collaborate with the schools to ensure that we get the results that we want, the outcomes that we want from our students. We need to collaborate.
Okay, you mentioned a lot of interesting things there. So how can the theme help the profession in Nigeria?
So for us in Nigeria, it's very important that we move from just looking at taking a personal glory, right? Let's move from that individual mindset to working with others. There is no harm in collaborating with a teacher in another school, bringing up lesson plans, working with others, sharing strategies, mentoring younger teachers. A lot of times we give awards for teachers, oh, best teacher in Lagos. Now, what is happening afterwards? Do we have opportunities where the best teacher is mentoring others, sharing the strategies that has helped him in his classroom? So for us as educators in Nigeria, it's very important that we look away from just receiving an individual glory to ensuring that the Nigerian education system is at the fore because of all the things that the educators are doing.
Okay, let's look at it from the policy perspective. I know that there are strong policies on ground talking about the federal government, the sub-nationals. How can these policies be implemented?
Okay, so for policies, I think that we have gotten to that point where we can have localized and contextualized teachers exchange, right? Teachers in Nigeria moving from one classroom to another. What is wrong with a teacher from Zamfara moving to a classroom in Lagos to learn? So our institutions, our government policies should spread their tentacles to ensuring that teachers in Nigeria also have this teachers exchange. It's not until a teacher moves to Finland or Singapore that we'll know that, oh, we're doing exchange. We can do it between states and even within a state.
Thank you, Joy Ifeanyi, for sharing your thoughts with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's Panorama from the Lagos Network Center of the NTA. Thank you for watching. I am Hingino John Adams.